certain ballot councils gave some of the ballots to the electorates without a stamp on them. Based on the request, our council made a decision that they would be valid unless they're proven to be fraudulent, proven to be brought from outside. After the referendum started, in some of the information that we received from district electorate councils, we heard that an evet stamp was distributed rather than a tercih stamp, and in some the stamp was applied to the back side of the ballot rather than the front. In some, it was applied to the back, but it still came to the front side a bit. So, since the stamp is a reflection of the will of the electorate, and the fact that one of the stamps was used instead of the other doesn't mean that there is no will of the electorate. That's why our council made a decision to make those stamps valid as well. The reason to stamp the ballots is to prevent the usage of fake ballots, and the stamp to prevent this is sometimes applied to the front side by mistake, or sometimes it is applied to the back side, but because of too much ink, it transposes to the front side as well. But this is not enough reason to make the ballot invalid. That's why we have decided to accept those kind of ballots as valid as well. The ballots and envelopes used have watermarks, and they are manufactured for the referendum purposes. Before the referendum starts, the ballot box councils receive the ballots and envelopes, count them, record the number, and after the referendum is over, before starting counting, the numbers are matched, the numbers of ballots and envelopes and the electorates who voted in that ballot box. At least 5 out of the 7 members of the ballot box council come from political parties. AKP, CHP are present in all ballot box councils, and their recordings with their signatures are received in the Supreme Electorate Board and then shared with political parties, which is what we did this evening. According to the unofficial outcomes, by 11 p.m., 594,000 electors haven't been entered yet, and the difference between yes and no votes is 1.2 million. 55 million electorates are in Turkey, and 1.4 million voters voted abroad. In total, more than 56 million. And the outcomes of this 56 million electorates should be entered into the system. The total that is not entered into the system is over 500,000. The total yes votes is over 24 million, and the total no votes is 23.5 million. According to these outcomes, the outcome of the referendum is yes. The final outcome will be declared in 11 or 12 days after the objection period is over. As I just said, the morning of the election, the ballots and envelopes are given to the ballot box council, the ballot box board, and they have to stamp them. The council, before the council stamped voting started in some places. That's why our Supreme Board looked into it. Before the outcomes of the ballot boxes were entered into the system and shared with the political parties, the votes used in the meantime happened because of the negligence of the ballot box council, and after the electorates expressed their will, the remaining mistake wasn't on the electorates. That's why we made the the decision to accept them as valid. The lists, as I repeat myself, are looked, scrutinized with the 7 members of the Council and recorded with their signatures. 166,000 ballot boxes were set abroad. They had members from various parties, for instance, 157,000 from CHP, 133,000 from MHPA, from HDP, 63,000 from Saadet Party, 56,000, and from Vatan Party, 6,000. So various political parties assigned members to the ballot box council. So in almost all ballot boxes, members from AKP and CHP took part. They counted, they recorded and signed the recordings after the counting is over. The Supreme Electorate Board doesn't, the Supreme Board, when there is our board, this is not the first time that our Supreme Council is making a decision to accept these unstamped ballots as valid. For instance, according to a number of tens of resolutions of our Council in the past, even though the ballot boxes and envelopes have to be stamped because of the negligence of the ballot box Council, if the vote was cast without the ballot being stamped, in the past we have made a resolution that those votes cannot be declared invalid. So before our Council, in the past, in all resolutions of Supreme Electorate Board, we see resolutions like we did today. The purpose for stamping the ballots is to prevent the usage of fake ballots and envelopes. The stamp for this purpose is sometimes applied to the front side by negligence, or sometimes it is applied to the back side, but too much ink, some of the ink comes to the front side, and this does not necessitate the ballot to be deemed invalid. That's why ballots in this manner have been accepted as valid votes. So I'd like to underline once again that we made this decision before the outcomes of the counting were entered into the system, and we made this decision unanimously. For instance, some political parties claim that they couldn't receive data today, but all political parties who had the relevant system were given all data as long as they searched it on our system. Because of heavy traffic, we couldn't do it for only 6 minutes, but outside that 6 minutes, tens of thousands of recordings have been transferred to political parties as soon as we received them.